Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the welcome to the mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Advent calendar. Reese's. Greatest idea in the world, right? Because you've got regular Reese's, you've got Reese's Pieces, you've got regular Reese's with Reese's Pieces inside of them, you've got Reese's with pretzels, you've got Reese's with white chocolate, dark chocolate, you've got the thins, you've got the king cups, you've got the ones with fudge, you've got the ones with caramel, you've got the ones with sugar cookies. You've got basically every possible combination and permutation of Reese's available. So a Reese's Advent calendar is going to be off the fucking hook, right? Wrong. Every single one of these first 23 is the same fucking mini cup. Just a regular ass, boring vanilla, but not literally vanilla because they're not even that exciting. Reese's mini cup. That's it. They're all the same. And then at the end, you get the one block of this is your grand finale out of all of that. It's not even the size, like, it's not even as big as an actual fucking Reese's cup. I have never been more disappointed and I have never felt more betrayed in my life than the time that I bought a Reese's Advent calendar to find out that 23 days are exactly the fucking same.
I kind of like the old toss. That was nicely done. Welcome to Festivus, everyone.
Speaking of airing of grievances.
Airing of grievances has begun. How's everybody doing? How's Two's doing? Other than being upset about your Advent calendar.
I'm about to have a Reese's.
That's how we're doing.
It's still delicious, obviously.
So today, folks, is a little... it's a little more informal. I think we're always informal, but regardless, once a year around Christmas, Tuesday and I do Festivus for the rest of us. Jamie says, good morning. Good morning, Jamie. Jim, Mr. Jamie Sinclair says, good morning. Good morning, Jim. And
yeah, we were supposed to have a video chat last night, but he got drunk off scotch, couldn't figure out how his phone worked, and Henry went to sleep early.
Carrie Ann says, morning, boys.
Morning, boys.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. So, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mashup. Once again, as we enter into Christmas season, we normally do it between Christmas and New Year's, but this year, next Mashup falls on Boxing Day, and that is the one that me and Twos take off. So you're all going to be in for a treat that Friday morning because we're airing the first conversation me and Twos ever had. I think it's episode, I was looking at it this morning, 178. Does that sound right?
Something like that sounds about right. So it's not the first conversation we ever had. We talked on the phone for like an hour or so before that. And I remember thinking that actually probably would have been a pretty good podcast conversation. And so I guess the context for that is that Sean and I basically knew nothing about each other. Like, we finished the conversation, and then Sean tells me he's from Hillmond, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, that's where Wade Redden's from. Or do you know Wade Redden or something like that? And he gives me this look like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, yeah, I know Wade Redden. And then because I didn't even know that you played hockey, let alone that you'd gone all over the world.
The missing teeth.
That's how
the missing teeth. He didn't clue in.
Knew.
Yeah, he didn't clue in.
Well,
the
I don't
missing
know.
Teeth back then.
You could have just been talking when you should have been listening.
Mashup. So the next Friday, a week from today, episode 178 is going to re-air, and that was May 31st, 2021. And I have not listened to it yet. I'm sure there's going to be. I'm sure that'll be interesting for everyone. It's going to be interesting for me to sit down and listen to again. Earl says morning, all morning, Earl. And yeah, so today is it's a little bit of fun. We get to me and Twos. Normally, I'm absolutely irritated when Twos doesn't have everything ready to roll. This morning, I didn't even look at it. Twos told me he didn't put anything in it. I can't even be annoyed by it because I'm like, oh, that's fine. You know, it's fine.
Yep.
Fine, Tues.
And it's Airborne Friday, so up the Johns.
Yep. Happy Airborne Friday. And I just had the military boys in studio, and they want to wish
There
everybody
was
a
no
Merry
video,
Christmas.
Sean.
Thank you, Tues, for pointing that out again. Yes, there was no video. And you know what? As I cross the 971 plateau of episodes,
Mhm.
I'm still learning lessons. And I did not realize, I had no idea. So we filmed the entire thing. Got all the cameras going. And I did not realize this is still new to me, when you turn off said camera, like click done recording, when it's a long video, 3 hours for those boys, you have to let it finalize. I didn't know that was a
You
thing.
gotta let
I
it
thought you could
percolate.
I thought you could just click it and pull it out and carry on. And the reason I did that is because about 3 weeks earlier, I did one in the studio and got to Lloyd and realized I didn't bring the memory cards. And I had to turn around, drive all the way back. And I'm like, I'm not making that mistake again. Well, I'm learning things. So yes, there's no video. Yes. Thanks for pointing that out again, Tues. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so for those of you who haven't checked it out, first of all, you should. Like, that podcast episode is probably one of my favorite podcasts that I've listened to all year. It was really good for the soul. But the intro, literally the first thing Sean says when you hit play, he's like, I know there's no video. And he goes into like 5 minutes of why there's no video. And so at like 7 o'clock in the morning, I text Sean and I said, there's no video. And then he just loses it.
You realize there's no video? Thanks, Tues. Thanks. You think you could listen to the first 5 seconds of the podcast?
I
No.
did. I did.
No.
I did. That was
No,
the
you
funny
didn't.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Is well, you can't press play on it without hearing you say that there's no video. So obviously, I know that there's no video.
Irritating.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yes. Okay. All right. Happy Airborne Friday to all the military guys. And Merry Christmas to everyone. All right. It's a little sooner than what we normally do. Like I say, we usually do it between Christmas and New Year's. This year it's happening a little bit early. Now, do you want to bring in today's guest? Do we want to start there?
Oh, I was just kind of surprised. Are we allowed to say Merry Christmas again? Like, we're allowed to say
If
gay
we're
and
allowed
retarded.
to if we're allowed to say the R word, we're allowed to say Christmas. Come on.
What R word?
Retarded. Come on. I'm not afraid to say it. Or you think I'm afraid to
apparently
say that
you were,
word?
because you just called it the R word.
This is how we're starting this show today. This is how we're starting.
I mean, yeah, this is probably going to be the whole episode. Let's bring on Lise already.
All right.
Why are you
all right.
calling?
Okay. Lise, welcome to the show.
Well, hello, boys. How are we
Morning,
this
Lise.
morning? And Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yes, it is allowed to be said again, just like the R word.
Just as much as we want. Merry Christmas, boys. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thanks for coming on. You're one of our favorite regular guests.
Thanks,
Actually,
buddy.
that's probably
And
not fair. We love them all.
Yeah,
but,
of course. Yeah,
but yes,
of course.
you're
Some,
wonderful.
but some people you love more than
You're
others, and that's
throat.
just the way of the world. And we will all get over that fact. So,
You know,
yeah, it's great to be here. It's been too long.
Twos is not supposed to say favorites. It's kind of like a parent. You don't say there's a favorite child, and Twos just let out there's a favorite. Thanks, Twos. Now everybody knows.
I said
Yeah.
one of the favorites.
As a mother of 6, I will tell you that my favorite is the child that needs me most. And so I'm the favorite today on the program. And that's fine. It's fine. It's the way it works, you guys. It's fine.
Okay. New book time. Walk us through this, Lise.
So you're an author now.
Not only am I an author, you guys. Okay, a first-time published author who right now has a triple #1 bestseller on Amazon with the book is called Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. We are #1 on Amazon's hot new releases chart. This is all books, all genres on Amazon. Okay, this book got to #1. We are #1. We're a #1 bestseller in LGBTQIA families, and you guys will love this story. I wrote this book on the side of the Trans-Canada Highway, and that's what it took for Amazon to shoot me straight to the top of the LGBTQIA for families books. And we are also #1 in children's books on self-esteem and self-respect. This little book is catching on fire just with daycares, with parents, with grandparents, with concerned
Mhm.
people, with parents who have been negatively impacted by gender ideology, by conservatives, by common sense people. Everybody is getting this book for their littles, and I couldn't be more delighted.
All right. Now, at first glance, that book looks pretty gay.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Toos? Tell me what you
Well-
mean by that exactly. Tell me your thinking.
I mean, first of all, the unicorn's name is Buck, which is another way to say naked.
Is it? I
Um,
don't know.
And then you've got like the rainbow mane
Mhm.
and all that stuff. It looks like the kind of thing I might get if I wanted to try and convince a kid that they're gay before they even knew what gay was.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if you were evil, you might do that, but you also might
Right.
just acknowledge that the rainbow doesn't belong to any one set group of people, and it's actually really symbolic for people of the Christian faith, and that if you look at Buck and think, my God, that looks like a book to gay the children, you just know that the author designed it to bring people and children back to the truth. And so and just in case anybody with a rainbow in their bio accidentally buys my book or sends it
Well,
to
that's the
young
thing.
people
I'm
in
saying
their
they might.
lives. Well, they already are too, and we're not going to stop them, are we?
No.
No, we are not, because we love being number one on the Amazon charts. I can't tell you what a delight that's been for me. An old, crone of a woman, nearing 50 years old with 6 children, just absolutely scooping the Amazon children's books charts. I can't tell you what a delight that's been. But yes, the book was designed with a very specific look about it. Yes, it was, Choose. Thanks.
All
You
right.
imagine how many people
Well-
are going to have it under the Christmas tree? They probably don't have a Christmas tree. I don't know what they do, but regardless,
Yeah.
and they're gonna oh, here you go, little whatever,
Yes.
and they're gonna open that up, and
Yes.
they're gonna be like,
Oh, the truth?
Yeah.
What is
Well,
this
they'll
truth?
have it. They'll have it wrapped up, and there'll be a little tag on it with to whoever their
Yeah.
pronouns from Santa, and then in brackets they them.
They them. Are they them Santa Claus? Yeah,
They, them
that's
Santa.
exactly what might happen. And it's also ending up under some really, really important trees this year. Like some real decision makers have already got this book under their tree this year. So I'm just delighted by it. But there is a plot twist in the middle of the book. Okay, guys, it's called Buck the Rainbow Unicorn, but there's a plot twist in the middle that your littles are going to love, because it is behind the colors and behind the rainbow and behind the design and all of the things that you think about the book. It is actually just a really beautiful story, like a really beautiful and touching story. I don't know, Sean, have you received your copy yet? Okay,
I
it's
have
arriving tomorrow. Twos. I have 2 copies of Buck. I can hardly. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. Twos, you have your
Yep.
copy of Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. Okay, tell the people. Tell the people.
Well, so it starts off with a whole bunch of fat pigs telling Buck that everybody's freezing up. Maybe you guys can't hear. Oh, I don't know.
we can hear
Is
you.
it-
We can hear you.
It's just
Okay.
you.
All right. So yeah, there's a bunch of fat pigs telling Buck that he is a rainbow unicorn and he thinks he's all happy and everything else like that. And then kind of gets pulled aside and it gets explained to him that these people that are pretending to be his friends are actually lying to him, and he is just a beautiful horse, and he's got a family back at the farm that loves him very much just the way he is, and that he doesn't need to try and pretend that he's something that he definitively is not.
That is correct. And so what we are doing is actually teaching children a moral lesson, being able to tell truth from a fib. This is an important lesson for children to learn. We're teaching children that their parents and their family know and love them best. And if they have questions, or if they feel bad, or if they're being guided to do things that they know are wrong, that they should go to their families and check it out with their families. And really, the point of the book is just to bring our children closer to us in a language that they can understand in a really age-appropriate way. Buffy St. Marie, you might have heard of her. She is famous
Mm-hmm.
for saying the great thing about Sesame Street is that there's always a new crop of 5-year-olds. Every year there's a new crop of 5-year-olds. And I learned from Buffy St. Marie. Okay. This is just the beginning for this little book.
That's
There will be
you
5-year-olds
could
that
have
need
called
this
it. You
book.
could have called it Bucky, the Rainbow Unicorn.
Well, true, right? True. But we're just getting started. Like, we're just getting started on this book. We need to have critical conversations with our children, because God knows people in public education are having critical conversations with our children
Mm-hmm.
that are leading them in the wrong direction. We know that public institutions are doing this. We know the government of Canada is doing this, and we need to take our children back. Our children are going to be guided by our morals and values. Thank you very much. And we are just done asking permission to talk to our own kids in a way that we see fit as parents.
Well put.
Thank you, Sean.
I just think it's cool that we have a best-selling author on the show.
Yeah.
And
You can legitimately claim that you knew me before I was a literary
Correct.
icon. And I can't
Correct.
wait to be one of those super eccentric literary icons that just does all the wild things. And at my funeral, make sure you talk about this story, boys, okay? This is a funeral worthy story.
we're gonna read
Please.
some pages from the book.
You should.
Both of us have more wrinkles than you. You're gonna have to read the book at our funerals.
I don't think so, boys. I don't think so. All smoke and mirrors. All smoke and mirrors. Much like yeah, go on.
Well, for people watching, you've already I think they've already caught the gist, but where can they get it? They can obviously get it off Amazon.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's on sale right now for under $20, delivered to your house in less than 2 days. One of the objections I've heard is that, they don't, some people don't want to, use an American company. No, go to bucktherainbowunicorn.com, buy your copy. It's printed in Alberta, literally down the road from Two's. They have, as soon as you hit
It's a long road. It's Atchison, right?
Atchison. Isn't that right down the road from you, Two's?
Just outside Edmonton.
Yeah. And so, is it Edmonton? I thought it was closer to you. And in any case, as soon as you hit buy,
Relatively speaking, it's close to Two's.
Right.
Atchison, though.
You guys could get it in one
some
day.
Interesting people in Atchison. Shout out to Atchison if you're watching and probably not commenting, because I know a lot of people over there.
Well, they're running
I
an
know some people
exceptional.
who are probably watching and not commenting.
I see what you're doing there. Stop it. No, Atchison has a bunch of very talented printers working in their Amazon shop. So as soon as you hit click buy, they print it, they package it, they ship it to your house. And if you're near Edmonton, you can get it within like the same afternoon. It is incredible. So bucktherainbowunicorn.com is the website. It links directly to Amazon, and you can gift wrap it for $5, just like I did for Two's. Which
Yes,
he appreciated.
did.
It came in a nice little
very
gift
much.
bag.
It was wonderful. It had a nice little message on it and everything.
You can put a gift card on Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. And if you listen, there's also people that are saying, look, I can't give this book to the person that dearly needs it because we're dealing with this in our life right now and it's complex. And I don't want to, they don't want to, anger anybody. And to those people, I say, put it in the little free libraries. Donate it to a public school. Donate it to a public library, for goodness sakes. But we must get as many copies of this little truth-telling book as we can to our friends and neighbors. And I'd really appreciate your help, Sean Newman podcast viewers.
Okay, now I am curious about something. I saw that you were talking about this, but I went out of my way to not know so that you could tell me what happened with Bruce Arthur.
Bruce Arthur is a sports writer for the National Post, okay? And we were in Toronto last weekend for the Rebel Christmas party / very serious staff training mandatory symposium, which is what I called it on the internet, because if I told you the truth, it was like I'm drinking shots of tequila to celebrate the success of becoming a best-selling author. I didn't want to say that on the internet, but anyway, I posted a selfie with Kareem Assad. You guys will know Kareem Assad from the internet. She documents Canada's protest circuit. And I leaned into her and I said, Kareem, I bet if we posted a selfie, it would needle a bunch of the right people. And she was like, let's do it. Little did I know, I thought it would be somebody else. I was trying to needle somebody else, but then in comes Bruce Arthur, okay? On the internet, quote tweeting my picture and putting me on blast that we should not be hanging out together. And this is a vast right-wing conspiracy. And I'm like, Bruce, it was a Christmas party. This is what you're. So what Bruce did was activate the worst of his followers and enablers to then dive into my comments and disparage me and call me every dirty, gross, disgusting, deplorable name on planet Earth and comment on my appearance and really come at me. And I just thought, Bruce Arthur, you have no idea the beef you've started. Okay. I have got beefs. I've got historical, decades long beefs. And the crazy thing is, I didn't know who this asshole was before the moment he came for me. So game on, Bruce. Okay, you see who I'm bringing? See who I've got here? I bring my heavy hitters when boys pick on me, because that's what boy friends, right, of ladies defend the ladies when assholes like Bruce come for us. And so best of luck to him in his miserable life.
Fair enough. Are you sure he's with the National? I thought he was with the Star.
Sorry, Toronto Star. Did I say National Post?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you guys.
okay.
This is how little I know about Bruce Arthur. He writes sports for the Toronto Star, not the National Post. Sorry,
Yeah, which,
my
if you're-
apologies to the people of the National Post.
The Toronto Star Sports, I imagine, consists mostly of Buck the Unicorns winning volleyball matches, 5 of them at a time.
This is exactly right. Just for fun, I think I'm going to send Bruce Arthur a copy. I'm just going to, because I can do that as a best-selling author.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I got FU money now, guys. I got FU money now.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it to great
that's
use.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
perfect. I
Thank you.
don't know if I ever told you about this or not, but there used to be this ginger in media that thought she was fairly self-important for a while.
She who will not be named. I was just thinking
On
this too. This
Just
is
like
a great story.
No, just like Bloody Mary, you just don't say it in a mirror. Okay, you don't. We just don't.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we don't want to summon
And-
the demons.
Well, I mean, if we say her name 3 times, she'll get sent a link and show up on the show. So anyway, we ended up in a little Twitter spat back and forth, and she called me, a whole bunch of the ists and whatever else.
Mhm.
And then I clapped back, and then she just shut right up because I very summarily won the interaction. And so anyway, I reached out to her, and because I thought, well, you know what? The thing I tend to mock her is how she's just like this basic bitch. And so I wanted to get a Frappuccino just like loaded to the nines, like everything you could get on it, extra large, super whipped cream and sprinkles and all of this stuff, like every option you could absolutely get. And so I go and I order this thing, and this was a few years ago, and it was $25.
Oh my
That's
God.
how many dips and doodles and everything went into this.
Like you
Okay?
asked for
And I-
every topping, every fancy froofy thing. Yeah, and you said, "Wait,
Yeah.
did you? Did you?"
Yeah, it looked like
we
Buck the
literally
Magic Unicorn.
We literally documented it on the show. We talked
Yeah.
about the entire
And so-
process.
Oh my God.
And
that
so
is the
I reached out
best.
to her, and I was like, "Hey, so sending a DoorDash to the global news office in Ottawa where you work. Where specifically can it go?" And she didn't get back to me. And so then the guy gets there and he messages me and he's like, "Hey, I'm trying to figure out where to deliver this." And I said, "Okay, we'll just go and ask for her by name at the front desk."
Yeah, the front desk. Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, that's the problem. I did that, but nobody there knows who she is."
How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Well, you're inspiring me. Like, I just made a note to self. Send Bruce Arthur of the Toronto Star a copy of Buck the Rainbow Unicorn and a bag of dicks. Okay, this is what you started, you guys. That's what I'm going to do. Do you guys know that there's a service on the internet that does this, that will send your enemies a bag of dicks? And I'm going to do
see
it.
if they
this
have an
afternoon.
advent calendar.
Because, like I said, FU money, okay? And I'm spending it on Bruce Arthur. That is hilarious.
You should see if they have an advent calendar.
What do you mean?
Each day is a
Like,
different
where
day.
you just you tear open a little thing and it's a yeah. This one's a little bit veinier. This one has a little bit extra foreskin, and this one.
Okay, in the new year, we are gonna run with this Twos, okay, you can send an advent calendar of dicks to your worst enemy. This is what we're going to do. Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's brilliant. I love it. This is a winning business idea,
This
obviously.
is what everyone's here for, a bag of dicks, right? You come to the
And then, of course-
Festivus and you're like, what's going to happen? And in the first 25 minutes, we've got to a bag of dicks and an advent calendar with a big veiny one. All right.
That is what we're going to do. It's a winning business concept. I'm telling you, everybody has a beef with somebody, and this is the gift for that beef. Mm.
I think it would be great. I mean, yeah, the December 24th one that ends it all. I mean, you kind of got an obvious grand finale there, but yeah, it'd be awesome.
It would be the best. I'm going to send one to Bruce Arthur next year too. Okay, not just this year. Bruce Arthur got himself on my radar in the worst possible way, and he just doesn't even know. He just doesn't even know how much fun we're going to have with him.
Just make sure that the packaging for it says warning choking hazard.
Okay, will do. Done.
Lee's, we do. So this is the Festivus episode. So question for you, minus being a best-selling author now, when you look back over the year of 2025, good, bad, what sticks out to you?
Best year, like personally, or like societally?
Any direction you want.
Any direction you want.
Okay, personally, this has been the best year of my life. This is absolutely, without question,
Excellent.
been the best year of my life. All of my dreams are coming true. All of my stars are lining up, and I am absolutely unrelenting. Societally, I am very concerned about the country that we currently live in, and the government that is making some really, really bad decisions that are harming children. I'm real concerned about what's happening in education, in healthcare, and in other areas where government has drastically overreached into the rights and freedoms of Canadians. But again, personally, I'm doing okay. Like I'm doing fine. I'm doing more than fine. Not the least of which because I got friends like you guys, to help me celebrate. So. Was that a good answer?
That's a great answer.
That was wonderful.
Good.
Yeah,
that's
like,
great.
what are you worried about in 2025? I don't know which way we're heading in Canada.
Like the dumpster fire burning
Yep.
just behind me here. I'm kind of I got a little concerned about that, but everything else is coming up daisies.
Well, it's interesting that they've had that ceremonial dumpster fire burning out in front of Parliament for the last however many years, right?
A sacred dumpster fire. Don't come near, don't approach the sacred fire while it burns. Please, some respect.
For the sacred dumpster fire.
Yeah. That's the Canada we live in.
Yep.
Well, if people want to buy a copy, go get it. Amazon.
BuckTheRainbowUnicorn.com.
There you go.
BuckTheRainbowUnicorn.com. Just buy one and read it to all your littles. Thank you.
Lise, thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, Lise.
Great seeing you. Merry Christmas.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddies, and all the best for 2026. I know I'll be seeing you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We're just
Like,
gonna
for
continue.
example, on January 17th.
We are compiling a team for the Bonspiel. We are compiling a very talented team of day drinkers for the Bonspiel. Okay, I can't wait. I'm going to be there with bells on and likely in some colorful costumes. So watch out, team costumes. Okay, this nothing less than team costumes, guys.
Jamie Sinclair and the Military Boys tell me they have they're winning the costume award. I didn't even realize we had a costume award, but after talking to them, I'm like, we better put in a costume award.
Game on, Jamie. Game on. Like, let's go. We're gonna have a costume contest.
If you haven't got a ticket and reserved your spot for the Mash Spiel, now you have Lise Merle, Jamie Sinclair, Chuck Prodnick, Willie
It's gonna
McDonald,
be a good day.
Marty up north, Eva Chipiuk, the guy below me, right? It's gonna be a fun little day. I mean,
Like in a
That's gonna be
boyfriend
the-
channel?
It's
really?
gonna be the best day of
Who's
2026.
in the studio with you right now, Sean?
You see what I deal with on a weekly basis, Lise?
I don't-
mean,
I'll pray for you. I'll pray for
please
you,
do.
honey. Okay,
Please
yeah.
do. Yeah,
So you
probably
can't
don't
pray that
for me.
away.
Probably,
I'm
probably,
pretty sure.
Probably
I'm pretty
pray
sure you
for
can't
twos.
pray that away.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
you guys.
that's gonna be a fun day. Like that is shaping up to
best.
be a pretty.
You should bring some copies of it to there.
Yes, you should. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
well,
bring
here.
it. I'm gonna bring a wagon. Yes.
And-
yeah.
And
Signed
maybe
copies. At the
maybe
Bonspiel, we'll have them. Signed copies at the
best-selling
Bonspiel. Sure.
author, you could donate a copy or two to the winning team, or somewhere we could figure that out as well.
They're going to have a hard time getting me away from them, making them take my book. They have a hard time. They'll have
So
very
you're
little
already-
choice in the matter.
You've already decided that you're not going to be the winning team. Okay, fair enough. All right.
No,
Well, let's see what it's about.
I
Lise
don't
is
attend-
just chasing people around, beating people with the book. Take the
Yeah.
book.
You don't have enough of them.
I don't
think it's
attend
wonderful,
sports
Lise.
events for the sports boys. Okay. As do many, many women. We just attend the sports events for the social function. And this is what we're planning on doing. So yeah,
If
I'm gonna
anybody
force
is
my
worried
best
about it, I've been getting texts about this. Wait, Kevin says you're going to be signing copies, I assume. yes?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
We were
absolutely,
just talking.
yes.
Where were you?
I don't know. I was laughing in my head because I'm like, I've been having people reach out going, I don't curl. And I'm like, I don't curl. Does anybody come in this thing curl?
It's
There's
not
gonna be one team.
about curling.
They're going to
Guys.
wipe the floor with us all, but the people who get to wipe floor with, they're going to be having the greatest time ever.
The
Right? Full stop.
last time I went curling, I got a concussion. Okay, fully concussed, which might explain a thing or two.
You're
But
not
I saw
selling it.
wobbly. I saw wobbly for months. I swear to God, this is true. And I'm coming to the Bonspiel. Okay, I am sacrificing my own health and safety, which I know is very tenuous on a sheet of curling ice, and I'm doing it. Okay, I'm facing my fears, guys. So you have no excuse not to come. Like what's the date, Doozy?
January 17th.
17th.
Thank you. Yes, I'll see you then.
So if you want to have the most fun ever, sign up and try and find a way onto Lise Merle's team, or at least play against her, because that sounds like it's going to be fun. If you want a chance at winning, don't sign up for playing with me, around me, or Lise for that matter, because it sounds like we're both equally terrible, but we're going to be having a good time.
No, we're going to be having a better time than Bruce Arthur. Okay, at a Bonspiel, that I can guarantee you. So
It's a Bonspiel, Lise. We're going to be having a better time than just about everybody else in this godforsaken country.
it's going to be a great day. I literally can't wait. I can't wait.
Lise, thanks for hopping on, and congratulations. That's it's pretty
thank
cool.
you. Thanks, buddy.
Very
Thanks
proud
so
of you.
much for having me. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah, to you and
Merry
yours as well. All right. Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, Lise might be cementing her way into the next Festivus just by being Lise. I mean, like,
Well, she's just so energetic and happy and enthusiastic. Like the first time we had her on was for the Saskatchewan election, if I recall correctly. And I was just like, who is this lady? And just went off from there. It's been great.
Yes. Yep.
Now,
I ran
Festivus,
into
here,
her.
Hang on one
no,
second. Okay.
Okay. Well,
what?
while you go, no, go.
Okay.
Come on. Let's just interrupt me again for the 80th time. Now you can't hear me, you jackass. Yeah. Keep going. Nice sweater. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You ungrateful bastard. Do you have any idea what this is? This is your Christmas present, you son of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Festivus,
Festivus board game. And I bought it at a garage sale this summer for $5. And I haven't opened it yet. I don't even know if there's any pieces missing. I don't know if it's fun or not. I don't know if it's interesting. But Merry Christmas, you ungrateful prick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what would have been fun? I mean, I don't know what would have been fun. Can you imagine playing Festivus while we do Festivus?
Well, I was really hoping that was going to end up happening. And then with the way the weather went yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
well, you know
brutal.
what? There's a decent chance that I'm going to get told to stay home, in which case I absolutely will not. And I'll drive up to Lloyd Mizzle and we'll give the new studio a run for its money.
Lloyd Mizzle, yeah. Well, I tell you what, new studio is sitting there, Twos. Just sitting there waiting. It's calling out. Where's Twos?
It's calling out, where's the beer fridge? I heard the military roundtable. Are you serious? You built that entire damn place and you didn't put in a fucking beer fridge?
Just like everything else, Twos, you have no clue. The military boys didn't have a clue. Yes, there's a spot. Is that wall finished? No, it is not. So we can't put in said fridge until the wall's finished, which happens first
I
week of
couldn't tell
January.
because there was no video.
Oh, you couldn't tell. Oh, thanks.
Because there was no
Maybe
video.
maybe listen a little bit, would you? Ay. You're as bad as Sinclair. Yeah, you heard it right, Sinclair. There's no beer fridge in here. It's like, there's going to be a fridge. But everybody just relax. Okay? Can we relax? Can we relax? No, everybody's got to be fired up.
No, because it would be easier to relax if there was a beer fridge.
I think the military boys relaxed just enough. I don't think they had any issues there whatsoever. They had a great time. And if I would have let them, they would have drank 24 beer on air.
Yeah, which also brings me to my next question. Why did you not?
Because we started late because Jamie didn't get in until late. And I was sitting there going, I still need to edit this and put it out for tomorrow. And every hour that went by, I'm like, at some point I have to end this because I still have to get this edited out for tomorrow. So that is a mistake on my part, not their part. And that's why it didn't go 6 hours. Full stop.
Imagine if it did. Oh, it would have been phenomenal.
It would have been interesting.
Oh,
okay.
It would have been great.
Okay. 2025 in the rear view mirror, relatively speaking. We started the mashup this year on mashup 139, and we ended on 188.
All right. So almost 50 episodes, 49. And considering the fact that there's still 2 weeks left in the month, although actually if the 26th is a Friday, then that means that, yeah, okay. So I guess that's it then. Yep, 49 episodes this year, which is the way the weeks go. We're coming up on 200 soon.
We're coming up on 200. And we are slowly closing in on 222.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, wow, what did you think of the year? What did everybody think of the year? Well, everybody watching, curious, do you have a high point of the show? Do you have any comments?
Blow up the comments here for a minute, and I'm going to tell you guys my high point while we're doing it. There was a couple I want to say.
Just so we're clear, 188 minus 139 is 50. Today would be 51. And next week when we release the replay,
188 minus 139.
Oh, never mind. It's 49. Damn it. I put in the wrong number. I'm like, God. Just doing the mental math. That sucks, folks.
Yeah. Mental is a great way to describe it. Okay, so this would be the low point of the year.
49. So no.
Yep.
So 49 episodes. Today would be 50, and next week would be 51.
Right, because we don't count the Festivus as an episode.
Correct. Even though we're sitting here, so we might as well count it.
It's all
as
in your
an
head,
episode.
folks. One high point is all the singing two's got to do. I like this stuff just writes itself, guys. It's crazy. And like that episode, not the military roundtable or the last time, but the time before that, where Chuck was like, if you're somebody who notices things, then people get upset. But yeah, that was kind of fun, spread out over quite a few weeks. I think for me, the two high points were one, the federal election, where we did a 12-hour marathon, had dozens of people, like 60 people on. And
I think it was just, forgive me, I think it was just under 50 when it was all said and done.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Regardless, it was a lot.
Trust your math. I'm not going to trust your math on numbers that are just under 50 right now, Sean. But
okay.
But I appreciate that. And then I guess the second point, high point for me, would have been when I found out that Sean's cousins are twins.
Okay. High point, definitely the live stream. I don't, did you have in your brain, before we go to comments, before we read people's comments, because as you're watching, folks, you should be commenting on what the high, the low, the interesting story, what stood out to you, any of that, because we'll talk about it. But the high point for me was the federal election live stream. one of the things that I walked in there thinking was, we're gonna get 20,000 people watching this live. And me and you had a chat before we went in there, and you're like, I think it's gonna be more, but like we're like, I don't know, this 25,000, okay, maybe, I don't know. And then you remember, so we started, and within the first hour we had 10,000 people. Like, holy, okay. And every hour for probably 5 in a row until everybody else's stream started, we gained 10,000 people in an hour.
Yeah.
You know
and
how
then,
insane that
then
is?
it was still, well, it's incredible. And that's how many simultaneous viewers we had. And even when
Correct.
we quit, and we talked about this, because I said, the one thing I'd like to do in hindsight differently is that we should have just kept going till the numbers started dying off, because we still had people tuning in, even
Well,
as we
because
left,
what
the
happened?
numbers
What
were still
happened at
climbing.
the end? What happened at the end? All the other channels started closing down and shutting down.
Mhm.
So every time somebody went off, it's like when you're going to an NHL game on the ride home, coming from Lloyd and driving to Edmonton. On the drive home, you always listen to the Late Show where they talk about the hockey game. And one of the things we noticed was, if CBC's coverage ended. Who am I kidding? Not CBC. Let's go Rebel News. When Rebel News' coverage ended,
Mhm.
we got a spike. We saw people still looking for coverage. And we
Yep.
were still sitting there until, I can't remember what time we go, till midnight.
Midnight. Yeah, we did
Like-
12 to 12.
And you go, could we have went till 2 a.m? Oh, yeah, we probably could have found a way. And it would have been curious to see what it did. But it was 500,000 people in the first 24 hours, right? Like, I mean, you think
Yeah.
about that you're like, holy crap. That was, you have ideas. It's kind of like Lise Merle in her book. You have ideas, and all of a sudden, it's just like blows you away. You're like, well, holy crap. I was hoping 20,000 people, maybe. I don't know.
Well-
I didn't know what to expect.
And I had said that I can't remember the number. I think I said like 50,000. I said that, because we'd been doing the other live election coverage and stuff like that, and I'd said
Alberta
I think it
was a high
50.
point. Alberta was a high point
Yeah.
on that. You're right, because Alberta live election coverage, even when it failed, we were right around 14,000.
And that was just simultaneous.
And that was
our
also
first time doing it.
And that
Like,
was
we didn't
also
have
with
any
failing
track
over and
record.
over again, right? We had to start the stream multiple times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were out for like probably half an hour. But yeah, and because Sean was like, I don't know, we're gonna get 10,000 people. And I'm like, dude, if we get anything less than like 50,000, this has been a dismal failure. And then it just, I was thinking we'd have like 100 maybe, and then it just blew away all expectations. It was the other thing about live election coverage, though, was the part that Jamie missed in the Saskatchewan. So we do live election coverage of Saskatchewan, and we're going back and forth to Jamie. And then, so for those of you, I guess, if you were to look behind the curtain on this, I've got a window here where I see mine and Sean's ugly mugs. To the right-hand side is all the comments. And then below it, there's all the different things that we can bring up onto the screen, including like when Lise was here, there was a little square of her, and we just click on it and it pops her onto the screen, or we could click on it and it takes her off again. And so we'd been streaming for several hours for the Saskatchewan one, and the Jamie Sinclair screen was still on. It was still there in the bottom because he hadn't left yet, but it was just totally dark. And so just as we're just wrapping up, we're like, well, what's going on with why is Jamie still on here? Maybe he wants to come on again. And so we click and bring him on, and he's just sawing logs.
Can you find that? You should be able to find the link for.
I'm sure I could track it down. But it was absolutely hilarious. I don't think I have ever laughed as hard on anything, definitely live, as I did with that one.
I'm just gonna, as you're talking, I'm gonna just go take a look and see if I can find it.
Well, no, I'm bringing it up here. We got, I don't know, Saskatchewan election live stream, which is 6 hours, so it might be hard to pinpoint.
No, you go right to the end. Bring it up and then just
Well,
fast
yeah,
forward right to
but-
the end. Dude, we laughed about it for like 10 minutes because we're like, do we just leave him snoring there all night and people could just tune in to Jamie snoring?
Mhm.
I remember it. I've never cried. Like I was laughing and crying. That was great. I mean, you're tired at the end of a show like that. And so it just amplified how funny it was. You should be able to
Well,
find it. Yes.
it was just because it was just so unexpected.
While you're doing that, I was thinking about some of the bigger stories that that have come up through 2025, and obviously, did you find it?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, but we could. Okay, all right.
This is great. This is great. You're gonna bring it up on screen, big fella? Here.
Party. Just with looking at the numbers kind of thing, and I hope
Bring it up with management.
everybody knows. Great to sit down and chat, and actually pretty much all of you guys except for those two monkeys sitting by the SMP sign. This is the first chance I got to be live with you guys, so it's great. And I mean, this is great, but I always really appreciate in-person stuff too. So make sure everybody's in each other's neck of the woods. We get together for a coffee or a beer, or whatever the day allows, kind of thing.
This is what I'm saying. It's hard to on the sliders.
I hope this is a wake-up call to the SAS party. Just with looking at the numbers, kind of thing, and I hope this is I hope this sparks a little bit of change in there to try and make things work a little better for everybody in the province of Saskatchewan. Because no matter which.
Well, as you're watching it there, let me know when you find it. But I think I really, I wondered about doing it today for the Festivus episode, and yet it's kind of our thing to
What's that?
Bringing on a whole bunch of the guests we've had.
Oh, okay.
Having a more merry, bringing on a bunch of different people. I'd really thought about it, and then I'm like, yeah, but me and Twos never just get to really we go back and forth every week, folks. But yeah, that's right. Right. So I was like, maybe we shouldn't. But then, having Lee's on, that's a ton of fun, right? I mean, that's interesting to me. And the live elections are a ton of work, but a ton of fun. Like it's a ton of fun to have all those people come together. You're bringing together different people from the podcast and putting them in a room together to discuss something. And there's a lot of eyes on it. And
okay, here we go. So keep in mind, this is 5 hours and 47 minutes into the live stream. Get up with management. Was he snoring? Was he just?
That right there.
Oh my
God. We got a lot of love for you, Jim. Oh, that's good. I can't believe we caught that. He's sitting there trying to talk to him. He's snoring.
Jesus. Oh, God, I love you, Jim. I hope you see this tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, so I don't know. Those were my highlights. What were yours?
Well,
like obviously
the federal election live stream was it just surpassed anything. You have an idea, and I knew it was a solid idea because you were like, you always give me crap for me never giving you kudos for good ideas, but I mean, you were like, we're gonna go how long? And I'm like, 12 hours. We're gonna do 12 hours. I'm gonna bring all these people. It's gonna be a ton of fun. And 12 hours is a long time to be on air. Full stop. That is a long time to do things. And I was like, this is gonna be good, but like that many people watching live was kind of wild. And you remember you were sitting beside me, and so we were doing giveaways. And so one of the giveaways I was doing, I'd say, okay, text this number. You remember how fast they were coming in? I had at one point
you had like
700
and unread messages for like a week afterwards.
I was trying to get through them and I couldn't, and I was just like, screw it, I'm not getting through all these messages, right? And so we just kept pounding that, and that was wild to watch. It was just you have every once in a while you step on an idea where you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work, and then it works, and you're like, I can't believe this is working this well. And the guest list was top notch. We had people
Top
from all
tier.
across. We had people from all across Canada come on. And then just everything. Yeah. Well, there's Clyde
And
hopping
there's
in, right?
Clyde. And Clyde was hugely instrumental in that federal live stream. Can't thank him enough as well.
Yeah. So for people, we restreamed it over all of mine and two's channels, but Clyde's and Marty up north's, and was there a third, or was that the two? That might have been the two.
I think maybe like there was I think a couple other people too. The gentleman in Winnipeg, I think as well. Who was on right at the end of the Saskatchewan live stream too.
Oh, Wayne Peters.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we streamed it on his as well.
Well, that was cool. It was just, I don't know. You do a lot of things in a year, and some of it hits, some of it goes flat. And that one was like, holy crap, I can't believe what is happening right now. It made all the effort. It was already fun. It just made all the effort. You're like,
It
wow,
hit the sweet spot. It absolutely hit the sweet spot, and it went right out of the park.
Okay, do you want to get to some here? Let's go back on the comments here. Let's see if I can find where we start. Day drinkers fine.
Well, here, while you're looking at that, so the thing about it is like Sean said, we should do 12 hours. And the only rule that Sean and I have for this is that if somebody has an idea, the other person would, like, if either of us has an idea, we go for it. So we don't do vetoes. We don't do something where we pass a last minute resolution that if 50% of the people say no, it passes.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
Well, you remember, I chuckle about this. I was just talking Nicole Murphy. She's doing a online conference on creativity, and I was explaining to her the mashup, how it came to be, and how we released the first 4 episodes for nobody to see, just to see if me and twos were kind of compatible and whether we like doing it. But at one point,
keep in mind, we barely knew each other back then.
It's like, we should probably release this to see if everybody even cares, right? Like, I mean, we just kind of, so the episodes 1 through 4, I think. Did we ever release those? I don't think we ever.
They're in some like back room of Rumble.
Are they in Rumble?
If you went walking down the right hallway in Rumble, I think you could still come across them.
Man, wouldn't that be? Okay, let's just take a look here.
That might almost be a better thing to, for
throw
Friday.
back to. Yeah, if I could find
re-release the first episode we did and the first episode of the mashup. It's pretty rudimentary. Like, I mean, keep in mind, guys, for those of you who haven't been listening from the start, maybe about a few months in, I went and got a couple buzzers off of Amazon, and I sent one to Sean and one to me, and we would literally have a big box with a button on it, and that's how we would buzz each other out. Whenever we're tired of the other person speaking, we would buzz them.
I forgot about that. The first one we aired was Tuesday Mashup number 5. So the first 4 are in the abyss. It's Rumble where we released it, but we didn't. What did we do with that? I actually don't even know what I did with it. How the heck am I going to find that, Tooz? How the heck would I even find that?
I don't know. Just look up Mashup, maybe? Did we even call it Mashup at the start?
I have no idea.
Keep in mind, guys, this is coming on 4 years.
Yeah, yeah. 20. Okay, let's see how far I can go back here.
But that was the fun thing. I mean, it's always been the fun thing about the mashup. As much as we appreciate everybody that tunes in, we just decided right off the bat that we didn't. Our metrics for success weren't whether people liked it or tuned in or shared it. Although you guys should do all those. But it was just, are we enjoying this?
Are we enjoying it?
Enjoy
because if we'll keep doing it. And if we don't, then we're not going to do it. That's why we did 4 first, just to see how we want it. And eventually, like, well, I guess we better like release this and see if anybody cares. But the goal was if you don't enjoy it, let's just stop. That's why
Yeah.
we did 4 before we ever released it, is so that we could just see if
and
we enjoyed the
agreed
banter.
to do more. Like I think we said 5 or 6. We were going to do like 5 or 6 or maybe even 8. And then we were talking after episode 4. It's like, yeah, so we're going to do this, right? Yes, obviously. And it was a simple conversation. But yeah, it's I quite like the dynamic we have of if one of us says, "Hey, we should do something," the other person does not get a veto. We can both look at it afterwards and see if it worked or not. But if we want to try something, it's a yes.
Well, that's how we did the Tuesday Mashup comedy tour, right? That was very
Yep.
uncomfortable for me. I'm not, like I'm not a comedian, but sitting up on stage and like bantering was a new challenge. That was an interesting one. And then this is where the mash spiel comes from as well, right? We need to.
Yeah.
I can't veto everything. It's like, oh, all right, let's do it. It's honestly, I didn't realize Lise was coming. That's news to me. That's been that's great. You think of all the people that are starting or who are going to be attending. It's gonna be a fun group. If nothing else, you're gonna sit around. You're gonna have a fun afternoon on a Saturday.
Well, that's exactly it. And yeah, apparently it seems like the teams who are most excited about it don't plan on driving home. So
and we should point out we do have a hotel now.
Yep.
What is it, Twos?
it's
Best Western?
it's one of the best Westerns. I'm not sure which off the top of my head. But we've you could just call them up and ask for the mash spiel. We've
So
got
if you're attending
rooms booked under
the mash
spiel.
the mash spiel, and you're wondering which one, you can text me. I'm also going to be sending an email to all attendees so they have it. Going on Rumble, the furthest I can find a Tuesday mashup is 32. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where those first 4 went. I got a hard drive. I'm like, I'm going to check that at some point, but I actually have no idea where the first 4 went. Full stop. No clue. Okay. Comments.
All right.
Here we go. Earl Wally said, solid year of episodes across the board. Thanks, Earl.
Yeah.
Kevin Damon, is anybody going to be mean and say July?
Is the high point? I don't know. I'm not quite sure where he's going with that.
Don't know.
Okay.
Here's Idaho Man. Another year of Canadians playing the national sport of why don't we? Why can't we? Shouldn't that be illegal? Played on loop all along with, we should hold meetings about consultations
about meetings. That's a pretty fair assessment of Confederation. And I like Glenn's.
Glenn says, this year I brought property and began planning my move home to Alberta. Twos and Sean have some blame for this. Yeah, all right. I'll take that.
And nice thing is he's pretty darn close to the halfway point between the two of us.
Is that where he's going?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to
disclose the location. Yeah.
But yeah.
Aaron said the highlight of the week, we need the lighthearted take on everything going on. Yeah, I think I was telling Tuesdays, I got it not in a dark place. That's not the way to put it. I was just like, I'm so annoyed with the show because I'm like, it's just like there's never a week where you come on and there's a big win, It's always just stupid. And eventually I just started to laugh more about it. Once I started laughing about it, the whole show took a new light for me. Full stop. I was just like, I get to laugh again. Like, this is just absolutely absurd. And if you can't see how absurd it is, you're probably a liberal.
Yep.
Here is Idaho Man again. The high was when the funny host burped. The low is the same funny dude hasn't gotten his darn gold coin, for fuck's sakes.
I accidentally just because I think he's talking about one of the election live streams that we did in person. I just went to go talk, and because usually I'm drinking beer and or Red Bulls while the election live streams are going on. And so, yeah, I just went to go talk and a burp came out. And that was probably the one where I went there in person and did not get the silver coin.
Does Jim sleeping on Saskatchewan live stream count?
Yes, it does.
When did we do the Saskatchewan live stream?
Well,
It had to have
if
been
I look-
2024, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was 2025, but the name of it in YouTube is 2024 Saskatchewan election live stream. So I
So
guess
there you go.
it's
It's
technically got to be an honorable mention.
that would have been October of 2024, wasn't it?
Maybe sometime in 2024. Okay. But 2024 of some point regardless. Brett says started listening, watching you guys this year during that election.
October 28th, 2024. That's why we feel like it's in 2025. It's because it was relatively close.
Well, yeah. So call it an honorable mention. As far as I'm concerned, when we do this next year and you're going to ask me what was the highlight of 2026, I'm going to say the first time that Jamie fell asleep on a live stream.
Okay. Brett Ray says, I started listening and watching you guys this year during that election. It was the best and worst show ever.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously, Brett, if you're still here.
We're glad to have you back. Yes, we are glad to have you back. Glad that kept you coming. Was that just in March? Holy buck.
Yeah. So that's from a few minutes ago, but so not quite sure. Earl says that was pretty hilarious. I think we're still talking about
Jim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron says just as funny the second time. Zane, maybe Friday before the Mashspiel, get there a day ahead and get some of the crew live. Should we do the Mashup live on Friday? Like not live in terms of this, but live in terms of in front of a live studio audience? I don't know. Tell us in the comments. Maybe just blow up the text line. See if that's something you guys would be interested in.
Yes. All right. July being the month of twos and guess no Sean July.
Oh.
Thanks, Zane.
Now it all makes sense.
All right. Shots fired. Fair enough. I watched the entire show and I'm an Alaskan. That's David. So
David
that's pretty cool.
Hotness. I assume that's short for hotness. Thanks for watching. And then, Murray says Twos needs to come to the next Prairie Rising Forum. I'm inclined to agree with you. I don't know if you guys would like my nihilistic view on Confederation. But I feel like you could probably at least relate.
And Sharon Laureen says, yes, do it for the live show. So we'll be taking some feedback on that, I'm sure, as we get a touch closer, although we're not that far away, Twos. We're now under a month away from the Mashspiel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Clock's ticking. It's one of those things. Anybody who's ever been to a Bonspiel before immediately gets it. And people who
you have been on me to do this for how long now?
Years.
Like 2 years?
Yeah.
And I've been
probably
dragging my feet. I've been dragging my feet, folks. It's all on me. And when we go back to, if we say something, we have to do it. There's no vetoing it. We say that about one big thing a year. That's why we did the comedy tour. That was our big, this is going to take all of our willpower to pull this off. We did the AGM. And now this year coming up, it is going to be, we did the 12-hour live stream. So we did the comedy tour, right? The AGM, the 12-hour live stream was a whole freaking production that took a ton of time and effort. And this coming year, we're doing the Mashspiel. It doesn't mean we can't do anything else. But in our lives, it makes it hard to do things like that over and over again because it's a time commitment.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we don't just podcast for 5 hours a week and spend the rest of our time bow hunting and eating DMT pills.
Well, I mean, certainly you run a business plus work full time on top of that, right? And then carve out time to do this show as well. I mean, my hat's off to you, Twos. I know there's been the Mashup has its core group of audience that just love it. It is It's unique on the text line. I'll say that. It doesn't mean that there isn't crossover from the regular podcast interviews onto the mashup. Obviously, it's still under the same banner, but like it is a select group of people, right? Because at the start, I remember getting yelled at about all the swearing, right? There's just people who've turned it out because there's too much swearing. But you know how many people I come and I go, Two's was swearing like a son of a gun again, but man, he's been pretty funny the last couple weeks. So it's been I don't know. I can't believe we're almost at 200. Like we've been doing this week in, week out for almost 4 straight years.
Yep. That's impressive. You think about like anything else, and like here's the thing is I guarantee you, if it wasn't for the fact that I've got you counting on me being here every week, I would have let this slip years ago. Right?
I keep telling Twos this.
Yep.
I keep telling Twos this, folks. We got the new studio, right? And I built Twos an office. I said, Twos, your office is sitting here when you're ready. And Twos keeps going, yeah, I can't be there. And I'm like, well, your office is sitting here when you're ready. So there is a spot for Twos in the new studio if he ever decides to take me up on that offer. Just saying. Just throwing that out there to the mashup crew. That they can hear it first for when it eventually happens. You can't go, it was all my idea, as you love to do. As you love to do.
See, I used to have this boss back in the day. He was my boss like about 10 years ago. And I would give him a suggestion. And I'd be like, look, here's what we can do. It's going to save us a bunch of money. Or here's what we could do. It's going to turn up profitability. Or here's how we can tweak this. Or whatever else, right? Because I was in operations, so it wasn't really so much about generating revenue. It was about doing it as efficiently as possible. And he'd go, and then he'd wait pretty much 3 months. Like, I think he would just go into his office and just set a calendar reminder for like 87 days later. And then he'd come out and he'd be like, guys, I have a great idea. And that's what it's like doing this with Sean.
That's what you think. That's what you are such a jackass. Every great idea I have, every great guest I have on Twos Text, you didn't give me credit for that idea. Every time.
Okay.
Every literal time. Every time.
For those of you who tune in to the episode that comes out on Boxing Day, which is the first time we talked. Okay. There's one point where I say that it would be great to have good laws in place so that the person who gets elected is less relevant because they still have to do the right thing no matter what. And that was, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it in like less than 200 episodes into Sean's podcast. And then go back and think about how many times he talked about how Andrew Lawton told him that. And it was profound. And it was just such a big takeaway. Okay. And realize when you hear that on Boxing Day, that this is the shit that I deal with. Okay, so we do have a few headlines, by the way.
Here,
just a few.
The episode after Charlie Kirk. Here's Jamie Ingram. The episode after Charlie Kirk was killed when you guys had Chris Sims on had a huge impact. Yeah, that was. Chris has become a fixture of this. Yeah, Chris has become. What did he come on? Once every 2 months, roughly. Maybe even once every 6 weeks. Certainly the Canadian Taxpayers Federation once a month, I would say. And we got a ton of time for the work they do. And certainly when it comes to journalism as a whole, Chris is a wealth of information, and having her on made complete sense. She was one of the first people I talked to after Charlie Kirk. We got talking. I was at my son's football game and or practice, sorry. And we got texting, and then we ended up having about a half-hour conversation about it because she was, I mean, rightfully so, upset about it. And I think a lot of us were. And yeah, that was, when you do this many episodes, it's like, I was writing about it this morning. Like, what the heck was the standouts? Like, what was the big moments
Twins
of the year? and I go the election live stream, but you forget about some of the other, like there's just, in a week, Tuz always points out in a week, yeah, this is just this week, folks, are the headlines. And you almost have to write it out to fully understand how many things are going on all at the same time, and then try and cover them over the course of a year. That's where we see the trends. I feel like we break, I've been talking about Tuz's predictions a lot. I've been trying to give him some credit. Been talking about your predictions about Ma
corrections.
and the floor crossing, and your prediction on they're going to have a majority in 2026. I think we're going to see that, and I've been tipping my cap to you an awful lot on that, if I may say so.
Well, that brings up a really good point. We have a couple corrections to make. First, Ed, I had said played for the PA Raiders, but he played for the Regina Pats. And secondly, so if you guys recall, and Sean definitely does, because he was like, why is there nothing in the fucking document? And I was like, dude, Michael Ma just crossed the floor, and I'm kind of doing a deep dive here. And so I'm in hurry up offense. I get Grok to help me out with it, and we go back and forth based on, basing it on all of the assumptions that I discussed then. And then he gave me a list of 10. And AI isn't perfect. And I should have made the distinction that these 10 people actually have to currently be in Parliament. So those 10 names, I think like 3 of them are former MPs. Fuck.
Well, that's why we have corrections on the mashup.
Yeah. So that thing that you've been giving me all the props for.
Well, I still think it's going to be true. I don't know how you say
the
5.
gist of it'll be true, but the names names aren't all going to be correct because some of them aren't even in fucking politics right now.
Yeah, well, do your work better, Tuesday. Kevin says the mashup is the fuzzy blanket of podcasts.
Oh man,
I'll take that compliment. I can't hear you.
Snuggie, can you hear me? All right, I've got a Snuggie. Love it. It's wonderful. Had it forever, and that thing is just perfect. And it's nice and fuzzy. And when he said fuzzy blanket, I immediately thought of my Snuggie. Like, I don't know if there's
Chris Sims. I just texted Chris Sims. I'm like, hey, if you're doing nothing at this moment, you should come on the mashup just to say hello. And she said, sorry, I'm in a Teddy's nomination meeting. There you go. Just throwing this out there. Once again, me and Tuz would love to give away a Teddy. Just one Teddy. Just one. Just like to present one Teddy. Is that too much to ask?
Get up there. We'll get tuxedos. Like whatever it takes.
Oh, we're gonna do it
get up there. Read the teleprompter.
You figured out what you're wearing for the mash spiel? Have you decided if you're doing anything special?
One wool sock.
Okay.
No.
One wool
sock.
No,
I was thinking about it because I used to have this absolutely deadly. It was like Imperial SO. It was almost the kind of like beret hat that had the pom-pom on it from like the 70s, 60s sort of thing. It was just this absolute beauty of a hat. And I don't know what happened. And I'm fairly certain that at some point I had a bunch of drunken people over at my house and somebody saw it and thought that that was perfect and they needed it for their wardrobe. But I don't have that hat anymore. And I really wanted to wear it. So I don't know.
Okay. We got about 17 minutes to go. Okay.
Okay.
I want
hit a couple of
I know I know you got some headlines, but you did something new last week that I enjoyed. And I want to do it with you for 2026. What are your predictions on 2026? You've already said a liberal majority government, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Is there any other predictions you have in 2026?
Well, I can't see Western alienation getting any better. There's too many things in the pipeline, including a lack of pipelines. And like one of the things that we were going to talk about is Danielle Smith pitching the idea of running a pipeline through the United States to get around BC. And if that happens, if a project like that gets approved, first off, that's not on Alberta for getting it approved. That's on BC for vetoing it. And if the only pipeline we can get built is through another country, it makes the idea of confederation completely irrelevant. And then the ripple effect of floor crossers is that if and when somebody else does cross the floor, and I think it's going to be more than one, is you're going to have a liberal majority government that not only did nobody in Alberta vote for, but also nobody in Canada and a whole voted for, who now has carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want. And that is going to make people in Alberta and Saskatchewan feel even more like, what the fuck is the point at this point? And so, yeah, I just see Western alienation getting worse. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for Federalists that I see.
While Tooz is thinking, if you have any predictions, throw them in the comments. We got about 15
What do you
minutes
think is
left.
going to happen?
I agree with you on the liberal majority government. As soon as you said it, I thought about it for a while afterwards, and I'm like, I don't see how that doesn't happen. The analogy of the plane being full and the offers and somebody just taking it, I just see that happening. And if they get that, then the second thing that I think will happen is a proroguement of government. And the reason why
You're talking about that thing with you and Vesper.
If they want to remove the influence of any one party, they have to prorogue government and reset the committees. If I understand that correctly, then I say we have a proroguement of government after they get the liberal majority, because that'll reset all the committees and will give them the balance of power. So I think those two things happen. On a dark thing, I think the passing of Bill C-9, possibly others, will come in 2026, which means I see a referendum for Alberta coming. That's, I think, after my conversation Monday, I have Chris Scott on, and he lays out a bunch of things with where that's at. And I think
whistle stop.
Whistle stop.
Yeah.
And I think, I just think there's going to be a referendum here in Alberta.
You know, I've met him briefly once in person.
Yeah.
Great guy. But anytime I drive from me to Lloyd or back, I always drive through Mirror, and no matter how much gas I have in my car, I always top it up. And I poke in, hey, is Chris around? No, you just missed him. No, you just missed him. Like, and then I randomly met him for like 5 minutes at some event that we both drove into Calgary for. And I was like, oh, so you do exist. Because, you know, every time, like, oh, hey, I'm here at his store. Is he around? No.
He shares a lot of common with you, in my opinion. Guy who has a background in working the rigs all over the place. And very, very, I don't know. I enjoyed our chat. And what he outlined, I'm just like, okay, things are going to get worse in parts of this thing, which means the chance of a referendum goes up and up and up, in my opinion. And I think we're going to see that in 2026. So I think federally, things get worse too. I agree with you on another floor crosser. Once they have majority, I would say they prorogue, because that's a way to reset committees. And then I think there will be a referendum.
So here, as far as Western alienation goes, I think I've probably touched on this a little bit before, but if you think about any sort of a good relationship that you have, you know, wife, friendship, whatever, it's ones where you both feel like you're better off being in that relationship than you would be not. And I'm sure every once in a while, hey, for fuck's sakes, why am I always the one cleaning out the dishwasher? Or why am I always the one doing this? And you're going to have days like, seriously, you couldn't have just moved that over here out of the way or whatever else. You're going to have the little minor inconsistencies that irritate you. But every night you're thinking, well, maybe you don't consciously think about it, but you're just like, this is way better than my life would be and her life would be had we never met or if we went our separate ways. And that's the problem with Confederation, is that you've got an entire area of the country that hasn't felt a net benefit in a very long time, if ever. And that's the frustrating part, is that Ottawa has to realize this. Like, they can't not realize it at this point. They just don't give a fuck.
Here's Andrew McKay. He says, I predict the majority of Albertans will realize we can't save all of Canada at this point. Maybe later, but not now. And the best thing we can do for this country is separate ourselves from it and let the rest of the West follow. Also, the Cornerstone Forum will be one of the most important events of the year in 2026. Hey, shout out to that. Early bird tickets are on until December 31st. So don't procrastinate. I am a notorious procrastinator. Go get a ticket before December 30. Well, before January 1st. Tickets go up on January 1. So grab a ticket if you're gonna come. You might as well do it now and save yourself some money.
A few bucks.
And a few bucks.
And use promo code 222 to get 222% off.
I don't know. I look at 2026 and I just see a lot of bad, but I also see optimism too, right? Like, I think it's you're getting to a boiling point, and if they continue to turn the screws to the west, which do either of us think that's not going to happen?
Oh, you think the gun buyback isn't going to try and get rolled out here? You think they're... Well, I mean, it's interesting because...
Do you think they're going to build a pipeline? Do you think, that all the bills that are going to try and silence this show, among others, and the freedom of speech and criminalizing passages from the Bible, you think that's all just going away? No, especially if they find out, if we agree they're getting a floor crosser, they're going to have the ability. They already do. And you think that's going away? No. And so it's like,
no. So,
okay,
brace yourself, guys. You're going to have to be sharing new episodes of this amongst yourselves on cassette.
Can you imagine? Did you get the new mashup? Yeah, it's on cassette, man. It's amazing. And they're just, that would be funny. That would be, oh man.
This is the country we're moving towards. It absolutely is. Because, I mean, here's the thing. So, all right. So I'm going to push back on Brett here for a second. Any more conservative MPs across the floor is basically confirming that federally Canada is a uniparty. I don't see it as a uniparty in principle and what they work towards. I see it as a bunch of self-interested assholes who care more about power, prestige, and money than they do about fairly representing the people who elect them. And it just so happens that aligns perfectly with the same outcomes as having a uniparty. So, I mean, here's the thing. If some conservative MP from a swing riding who doesn't care that much about conservatives and just wants to be the guy who gets the paycheck and the pension and the contacts so that he can do the lobbying for the rest of his life, he's going to do it exactly the same way as if there is a giant cabal of hundreds of elected members of parliament who all decide way ahead of time, okay, I'm going to put on the green, I'm going to be the green bastard from Parts Unknown, and you're going to be the Blue Beetle, and you're going to be the Red Tornado, right? It's Occam's razor. The simplest, all other things being equal, the simplest answer is usually correct.
Glenn, don't encourage twos, all right? I know he always puts up the twos is correct. And then David says...
You know why he does that?
I don't know.
Do you know why?
He do that? Why?
Because twos is correct.
And David says, just like Soviet Russia, and this is me's dat. I believe
I
that's
don't know what that is.
Francis Christian told me about it back in COVID when I interviewed him, that I was a part of it, and what it is it's basically the underground press of Soviet Russia. That's how they shared information. It got to a level where you had to do things in secrecy, and that's what it was called in Soviet Russia. And here we are in Canada, and we're joking about the fact that next year the show might be on cassette, but we're dead serious. Like it could be in a very weird way you have to find us, because chances of them making it easier to find us, well, I wouldn't put money on that. I would put money the other way.
Like the radio show with Christian Slater. Shoot, why can't I think of that movie? Where he's got like that pirate radio thing, and then it ends with him like driving around in a van because they're putting tracers on his radio because they're trying to shut down his radio show. And so he's running it out of a van while he's running from the cops.
Pump Up the Volume?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. Well, looks like I got
the
a
opening
little work
scene will probably disturb you.
I tell you what,
Kevin's right on top of it.
I tell you what, I'm gonna go. I got a little bit of free time over the holidays. Pump up the volume.
Completely different context. It's not politically motivated shutting down dissenting voices. But the same idea.
Yeah, and going back to the samizdat, in Soviet Russia, it was a clandestine practice of circulating manuscripts that were banned, had no chance of being published in normal channels, or were politically suspect. And you go, well, I mean, it's a new age, but that's us. Yeah, that's us. You know what? You know, one of the cool things about the mashup, we've talked about this lots, is how many other programs have mimicked our format.
You mean like how Jason Levine tried to steal the name? Jason Levine, stop trying to steal the name of our show.
Yeah, the Saturday, well, whatever they call it, but it's got mashup in there. But it goes further than that, right? Like, there's just every channel I watch now has like something weekly something, and it's basically a play on what we do.
Effect.
It is the mashup effect, and you don't think we're doing a whole lot, twos, and then you start seeing that, and you're like, what is happening here? Right? Like people are taking the idea and running with it, which is kind of cool. Honestly, I'm just like, they can have Sean and twos, but they can try and make their version of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll make an appearance, 5-star hotel, paid, to show up, like what's happening with me at the Cornerstone. 5-star hotel.
Actually, the hotel we're at has to be close to a 5-star. It's beautiful.
It's a nice hotel. I've been.
I mean, we're putting twos in the doghouse out front of it. We're not going to allow him inside it. But I mean, other than that, you're pretty much close.
You're not going to allow me inside of it. The well-dressed people at the door will not allow me inside of it. And the reason why is because my picture is up there.
A few minutes left. Do you have anything else you want to get out? Do you want to go? We could throw out community notes. We do have the mash bill. We've talked lots about it. January 17th. You've heard from Lee's is coming. You've heard other people are coming. Would love to see you there.
We're going to do rapid fire, goofy, happy news all at once. So CBC did an article. You remember we talked last week about how Glenn Beck was trying to get that woman from Saskatchewan with the parathyroid disease who couldn't get the operation done, and so is instead applying for MAID. And then Glenn Beck from the States is trying to make things happen so that it can happen. And CBC covered it, basically just saying that he's just trying to do it to score political points. And it's interesting because CBC and the people who like CBC, fair enough. I mean, I can't read Glenn Beck's mind, but it doesn't occur to them that when someone's doing the right thing, they're doing it because they believe it's the right thing. And they're talking about it because they want the wrong thing to stop. They're like, oh, well, yeah, obviously he's just trying to boost his subscriber numbers. No, he's trying to save this woman's fucking life. And if he can publicize this, then more people hear about it. Like the best thing that could possibly happen to the mashup is that it becomes completely irrelevant. We have no bullshit to talk about. We have no goofy news to talk about. We show up, we say, here's the happy news of the week. Here's 3 community notes. And here's the latest advent calendar that Tooz is pissed off about. 5 minutes, peace out.
Don't see that happening in 2026.
But that's the goal. That's, it's, well, I mean, think about like in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's just trying to get to a point where he doesn't have to do this anymore. So anyway, that's it. And here's the video. We're not going to show it. Edmonton sees record increase in frostbite amputations despite innovative treatment. If you really want an innovative treatment in Edmonton that's going to get rid of frostbite and amputations, it's called fucking sobriety. Quit giving these people drugs. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say we're tight on time, but I don't care. I'm gonna show this anyway. This is. It's not going to be an episode of the mashup if we don't talk about the seriousness or lack thereof of the NDP.
Why are you here?
To defend Yves Engler?
To drive the Zionists and NATO lovers out of the NDP.
Yeah.
The NDP is excluding anti-imperialist Yves Engler.
Solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine and Yves Engler.
To go on the political offensive against the sellouts who run the NDP and labor movement.
I just want to point out that it's somewhere along the line, the far, far extreme left of the NDP have started wearing Russian hats the way the pro-Palestine people wear keffiyehs. It's become the unofficial garb of the extreme far left to wear Russian hats.
To stand up for democracy.
Yves Engler for Labour.
Protest Yves Engler's exclusion.
And now one more thing. What do you say to Avi and his supporters?
They should let Yves Engler run.
What do you say to Avi and his supporters?
Support democracy. Let Yves run.
Support democracy, like she said. Where do you stand on Yves Engler running? What do you have to say?
Let Yves Engler run. This Avi Lewis has got to break with the establishment politics of the NDP. He's got to fight for socialism, and he's got to be prepared to mobilize the working class into conflict with big business and capitalism.
Just that right there. That right there. And you know what? I agree with them. Not about any of the reasons why they're doing it. But as far as I'm concerned, they should let Yves Engler run. And the reason, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the reason why they're not letting Yves Engler run, so for those of you who don't understand, Yves Engler is fucking insane. He is further left than any of those guys.
That's saying something for the NDP, isn't it?
Okay. All right. Yeah. And then Zane saw the Trotsky thing up there too. Okay. So Yves Engler, the NDP have decided that Yves Engler is too extreme left for the NDP. And they're not letting him run for leadership because he's too far extreme left for the NDP. So we're talking La La Land here, guys. And this is the same bullshit where the Conservatives kicked out Anthony Bourgault. Or shoot. Who was that guy you had on with Theo the one time?
Joseph Bourgault.
Joseph Bourgault. Thank you. Because they said, oh, well, he's too Christian fundamentalist, too extreme. We're not going to let him run because we don't want to look bad. And here's the thing is that one of two things will happen. One, people look at it and be like, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe it's not that extreme of a position. Or two, he'll show up, he'll donate $100,000 to the party, and then nobody votes for him. And then when the mainstream media tries to paint it as they're running a bunch of extremists, we'd be like, we let everybody run. And he got 0.3% of the votes. So how extreme do you think this party is exactly? Right? And the NDP could do the exact same thing. And I think that they're not because they're scared of how many people who look, think, and act like that are going to vote for Eve Engler. There's going to be more fucking fur hats than, yeah, I got nothing. But that's it. That's the NDP, and they're not a serious party.
Twos.
Okay.
You
All right.
what are you doing to me here? You're gonna rattle off 16? No, we're not doing that.
Yes.
Jay. No.
Are you kidding me? Okay. All right. Let me.
Your headlines
equalization.
and 5 minutes at each one. Do you know how to do
equalization? Equalization got announced this year. For next year, 182 minutes or 182 million to Newfoundland, Labrador, 723 million to PEI, 3.5 billion in Nova Scotia, 3.3 billion in New Brunswick, 13.9 francs going to the fucking cheese eating croissant bitches, 406 million to Ontario, and 5 billion to People Kind Toba. We've got a shitty driver. They thought they could turn around in a car park. I'm going to go on a limb and say, no, you can't. Here's equalization. So business VP for Entertainment Canada, Community Family Democracy member for the Conservative Party, this guy, Rob Batherson. Sad but not surprised to read this morning that Nova Scotia will get the smallest percentage increase in federal transfers than any province in Canada next year. Where are the province's 11 Liberal MPs to make sure Nova Scotians get our fair share? A, it's based on a fucking formula, so no, you can't change it just by having a bunch of Liberal MPs. B, you're mad that you are doing the smallest increase? Well, guess what? Alberta and Saskatchewan have the smallest increase. Do you know how much their increase is? Fucking zero. That's the smallest increase. And you're looking at this like you should get it? Why don't you get somebody in Nova Scotia who thinks maybe I might want to consider earning my own fucking money instead of taking handouts from everybody else who works 2 jobs and does a podcast on the side? Fucking grifters. The 215 unmarked graves. My dog just farted. Holy fuck. He's not even near me. He's mad about equalization too.
If you haven't watched the Making a Killing documentary, you really should. That was really well done.
Yeah, I've heard, but I haven't seen it yet. Although I got sent it a whole bunch of times too. But time, man. All the records about it have been sealed. You got to watch this. I don't care how short we are on time. You can leave if you have to. I'll just regale people with tales. Do you want to hear a 5-minute story about something like that happening to me that's absolutely hilarious? I'm glad you said yes. So I used to work with this guy who, so I was doing a bunch of kind of specialized services. We just basically do call outs for small projects in the oil field. And this guy just wasn't good. And he shouldn't have got hired in the first place. But you know how you get this progressive HR people who are like, one of these guys is going to work out really good. And then you're going to be surprised. Well, yeah, we're going to be surprised. But in the meantime, can you just hire some fucking farm kids from Saskatchewan? So anyway, boss pulls me aside. He goes, Twos, we're getting to the point where we're probably going to have to let this guy go. But we got to give it like one last try. So spend the next couple days with them. The next job that calls out, take him out with you and just make a man of him if at all possible. All right. Okay. So just going over all kinds of because it was technical jobs. So we're doing all the technical stuff. Job calls out. Okay, here we go. He's all ready to go. Gets in the truck, ready to pull out of the shop. I'm like, well, do you want to just check everything before we go? I don't think so. I think we are good. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, would we or would we not want the downhole tools on the truck? Oh, yes, that is a very good catch. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So we throw the tools on the truck, get on the road. We're pulling this generator behind us, one of those 20 kilowatt small trailers. and we're driving, and actually ended up spending the night in Lloyd that night, despite the fact that we were going up to the Clar, because that was the closest room we could get. And so anyway, just outside of Vermilion, I'm having a nap because he's driving. He thinks I'm going to drive. And I'm like, fuck no, you're doing everything. And so I'm having a nap, riding shotgun. He gives me the tap. He goes, Tuz, I think there is something wrong with the trailer. What's up? And I go and you got to like lean forward when you're in shotgun to see outside the shotgun mirror. It's just a fucking spark machine behind us. Just a fucking spark machine. Holy shit, Johnny, pull the fuck over. Says, okay, I will find a place to pull over. And I'm like, no, you're going to pull over right fucking now. Okay. So gets over. The tire is gone off of one side of this trailer. The rim is gone off of one side of this trailer. We are literally scraping the axle. That's all that's left. I'm like, okay, we'll change the tire. Okay, I need you got to know how to change the tire. He's like, I got nothing. Fair enough. Okay. So I jack it up. And I take all the bolts off. And there's literally just this ring. That's all that's left of the tire is like 6 bolt holes on this tiny little fucking Frisbee. And that's it. I put the new tire on, give it a couple spins, and it's kind of sticking. So we got to deal with that and figure it out because that's how long he was dragging on the axle. Tire goes flat, nothing. Rim wears away to nothing. Still everything's fine. He eventually gets to the point where the axle's dragging. And there are sparks flying up 15 feet in the air behind us. And that's when he starts to worry if maybe something isn't quite right. And that's what this guy just did. Except he is a professional commercial driver. That dude was just insane. I fucking love that guy. And I can tell you a whole bunch of stories about how insane he was. But he was not a professional commercial driver, unlike this dude.
Folks, Mashup Festivus in the books. Twos, some days you just keep going, and I know you're gonna like. You know what he does, folks? He hears me. It goes in one ear, out the other, and on it goes. But in saying that, a good Twos story just makes Friday all the better, doesn't it? I think it does.
Yeah. We got a couple things real quick. Government rejects call to measure productivity across public service.
Gold at $4,351 American, U.S. Silver $67.10 American.
USD.
If you have, yes, USD.
I don't know.
If you haven't paid attention to what silver and gold has been doing, you
it's going up fast.
Right.
Duration rate, Sean. That's what it is. It's crazy. And then here we go. Sniffing your own farts could boost brain power, fend off Alzheimer's, according to a new study. So,
Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit and stand and fall to fly.
We're going to catch up to you. A couple of notes. Community notes have already been done, Twos. We love you all. Next week is going to be a replay of the first conversation me and Twos had. Enjoy that. We'll catch you in the new year. Twos, it's always a pleasure. Till next week, big fella. Guess I'd tell a couple.
See you later.
Folks,